Okay, so here's where we're at going into the pivotal week 3 for the season. Matchups this week, very interesting. You've got myself at 2-0 versus Joe at 0-2. Joe desperately needs a win. Let's take a look at where we're at with this particular matchup. Okay, so we've got some interesting things going on here. Right now, as the projections stand, it's looking at, it's showing me dominating the matchup at 141 points to 120. Some question marks here. Obviously, Joe's gonna have to look at the waiver wire or look to his bench, but Garoppolo is injured. We're not really sure what's going on there. So there's some question marks here in terms of the lineup that he's gonna play. But right now, you're going up against a pretty dominant team here with Big Ben, Blunt. With the quarterback situation over at New England, they're gonna run the ball a lot. So Bernard came through. Cooks is always good, especially against Atlanta. And then Antonio Brown's not going to have another 8-point performance. So, and then Mr. Benjamin has been the man for Cam Newton lately. So then you got Julius Thomas, solid tight end, and then Travis Benjamin with Keenan Allen going out. He is the number 1 wide receiver. So doesn't look good for you, Joe. But hey, you really need a W. So maybe the fantasy gods will pull one out for you. Let's take a look at another matchup here. Very interesting. We've got team rookie Robert going against Joaquin. Joaquin's been on a tear. Last week, of course, the highest scoring point total for the week. So here, it's actually projecting a very, very close matchup. Actually, with Robert on top. Wow. So he's projected for 141 versus Joaquin's 132. We've got some interesting stuff going on here. Let's look at Palmer's got a good matchup against Buffalo. Cam's going against a pretty solid Minnesota defense. Maybe that's why he's ranked so low. So, taking a look at it, going into it, you might want to look at making some adjustments. Take a look at the waiver wire. Let's see if there's any bench play. I can't scroll down, but okay. So that's the matchup there. And then, we got Casey versus Lex, so that'll be very interesting as well. Casey's been tearing it up for the past couple of weeks. She's 2-0. Lex desperately needs a win to get back into the swing of things and go to 2-1. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. Yeah, so far, projection-wise, it's a pretty tight matchup. You got 141, you're showing Lex winning at 141 and then Casey at 137. So she's made some good substitutions. She had 2 of her running backs injured, but luckily, for whatever reason, fantasy god-wise, she already had Jerick McKinnon on her bench, which is a large waiver wire pickup for most of the fantasy world this year. Granted that Adrian Peterson's hurt right now, so. And then she had Crowell on her bench last week, and he put out a pretty dominant performance, so she already put him in place of her Jonathan Stewart injury. So good stuff. We'll see how it shakes out. Of course, when the projections are this close, it never really pans out that way. So, and then Lex, you've got Derek Carr starting so far, D'Angelo Williams in the lineup, Mark Ingram, Forte, Deshaun Jackson, Golden Tate, Greg Olsen, Alan Hearns. Ravens D against the Jags. So it's pretty solid here. This might actually be the game of the week here. So looking forward to seeing this matchup unfold on Sunday. And here we've got this is also a potential game of the week. We've got Deidre at 1-1, going against Evelyn at 0-2, who desperately needs a win. Went in the retrograde for that. But it's a solid matchup. Points-wise, we're not that far apart in the projections. Again, with Breeze, Odell Beckham, some solid players here. So all they need to do is break out. I think it's been some bad luck lately. So hopefully week 3 will be the week where these players break out, and it's going to be a good matchup. And then you've got Russell Wilson, who was nursing a little ankle injury, had a bad performance against the Rams. But he should see some light at the end of the tunnel going against San Francisco. Then you got Murray, who broke out last week. Malcolm Gordon, who's been doing solid. Large trade with Todd Gurley and LA and versus a Bucks D that is somewhat suspect. We'll see if he'll able to have a monster performance there. Sanders should do well with all the attention focused on Demaryius Thomas. And Amari Cooper, always good for some catches and potential touchdowns. And then Jimmy Graham, hopefully he'll have a breakout. He hasn't been the same since he's been traded from New Orleans. And then dual tight end here situation on the flex spot. You got Zach Miller from Chicago, so that's a very interesting play. So we'll see how this shakes out. Again, I think it's going to be another potential game of the week. Let's look forward to another matchup here. Now, you've got Anita versus Angie. Of course, projection-wise, it's showing Angie with domination at 127 points. But that's fool's gold. Adrian Peterson's still plugged into the lineup here, and so is Doug Martin. Doug Martin's also injured. So I think she might have to go to her bench. She's got Carlos Hyde and Tevin Coleman on the bench there, so those will probably be plug-ins. That'll bring the projections much closer. But yeah, usual suspects. Bortles had a very bad game last week. Adrian Peterson got injured. Doug Martin got injured. So that's why the point total was so low last week. But let's look forward to this. This is actually going to be a lot closer than what people think and what the experts are saying here. So again, Angie has a solid team here. Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, that combination there. Edelman's due for a breakout. Wallace has been the favorite target of Joe Flacco over in Baltimore, and then oldie but goodie Witten. So you'll see how that goes. Normally the Packers play the Detroit Lions pretty close, so yeah, this is going to be another interesting matchup. So week 3, it looks like it's the games to watch here. And then last but not least, we have Ralph, the new guy, and the comeback kid, Austin. And wow, this is another projected close matchup here. 135 points to 131, projecting Austin on top. But as you know, Ralph always has tricks up his sleeve. He's the guy that came in with all the papers and the research, so he's been looking very, very, very strong on that waiver wire and trying to make trades on the block. So here we are with a Manning and a Luck, a competition here. Luck had a very, very poor game last week, but we should see some light here with a very, very porous San Diego defense. So there should be good things going on there. And then Manning, of course, is going against Washington, and Washington defense stinks. So quarterback play-wise, I think it's going to be a wash. And then you've got David Johnson, who actually is emerging as a strong running back coming out of Arizona. And then Ezekiel Elliott had a strong performance last week after a lackluster performance in week 1. Charles Sims is going to see the benefit of Doug Martin's injury, so it's going to be a very good play there. Lots of points projected. And then, of course, you've got Macklin, who's been doing very well for Kansas City. Shepard has been doing very well for the Giants. Fleener's doing well for New Orleans. And then you got Panthers D going against Minnesota, so that's going to be a very tight matchup in a high-scoring defensive position. Lacey's been up and down. Maybe it'll be his breakout week this week. You got Murray over in Oakland, who's always good for at least a solid 10 points. Langford kind of stunk it up on Monday night's game, but he's due for a bounce back this week against Dallas. And then DeAndre Hopkins, of course, we all know he's a beast, so he's going to put up his 20 to 30 points. And then Willie Snead, again, he's due for against Atlanta, a division rival. We're probably projecting about 20 to 30 points there as well. And then Kelsey, of course, frustrating, but against the solid New York Jets defense, they're going to need their tight end to play there. And then Tavon Austin, very interesting play there, but Austin's got a special love in his heart for Tavon Austin, and so maybe that'll be his breakout against Tampa Bay. And defense, I know he's thinking about it, but right now he's got Texans plugged in there, and I'm sure that'll probably change at the end of the week. So there you have it. Very solid matchups all around, and it's going to be a really, really good week 3. So good luck to everybody, and again, keep your hopes alive. There are 8 playoff spots. Typical fantasy leagues have 6 playoff spots. Ours has 8, so that you're always in it. Okay, So all you gotta be is top 8, and you're gonna get in, and you have a chance to win it all. So thank you, and we'll see you all on Sunday.